Let's talk about how angel investors really think. A lot of you may be looking to raise money for your startup, looking to connect investors, but in order to adequately raise money, you have to understand the mindset behind us angels. My name is Achimbo Tane. I'm a four-time entrepreneur, attorney, and angel investor. I'm going to break down what motivates angel investors. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what motivates us, who are angels, and hopefully by giving you that mindset at the end of this video, you'll know how to better approach angels and understand the key drivers of their investment decisions. Okay, so you're a startup looking to raise money. Where do you go? First thing people think about are usually angel investors or venture capital. Typically in your first round, you're looking for an angel investor. So let's talk about how to raise money from an angel investor. So let's talk about what motivates angel investors, because people often mistake what type of companies angels will invest in. I've had a few people approach me, friends, colleagues, other business owners, and say, hey, I know you're an angel investor. Do you think I can raise money for my company? And more often times than not, I have to tell them, no, your company is not angel backable, or your company, angels are unlikely to want to invest in your type of company. Typically, angels are seeking high risk, high return opportunities. So we want to minimize risk, but that just comes with the territory. High risk, high reward. We invest in startups that we think can possibly go seismic. We invest in startups that we think can go to the moon, right? Who we think can go to the moon. We do this because it's very risky to invest in types of companies we want to, and many of our companies, or some of our companies, may not break even, may not become profitable, let alone break even, and so we may lose a big portion of our investment. So the ones that do well, we want them to do tremendously well. So we're typically, angel, slight hint, they're typically going to want to look at returns that's at least 10x. Preferably, we're aiming for 100 to 1000x, right? That doesn't always happen. Sometimes 10x, sometimes 20x, sometimes 30x. But we're looking like, is this super scalable? That's the key thing. Is this super scalable? And that's why you typically hear about angels around tech investments, because tech is very scalable. So we're thinking about this because even if a significant portion of our portfolio fails, the ones that make it and do really well can more than make up for everything else that we put in. So if you're running a mom and pop, if you're running a regular cash flow business, it may not make sense to go to an angel. I'm not saying angels don't invest in cash flow businesses, but it has to be really super scalable to look at a professional angel investor, or for angel investors to really become involved and interested in your company. So high financial returns, that's one of the things. Now let's talk about things that might not be a bit clear. Angels typically have many different investments they can make, and one of the reasons we invest in startups is because of personal and professional fulfillment. So maybe there's a vision we have for the world. Like for me, I really want to see Africa grow, and so one of my visions is I'm going to invest in hundreds of startups in Africa so that they can help expand the economy, help build up countries, help build up infrastructure, etc. So angels typically have a personal reason and a professional reason they want to invest in companies. Tapping into that, understanding that. So when you're pitching, when you're having conversations, you know who you should focus on based on, does your investment align with their personal mission? That may be a way for you to get in and tap into their network. Professional fulfillment. A lot of angels, we find satisfaction in mentoring other entrepreneurs. Many angels came from running their own business before, or maybe had a great professional career and now they want to get back and get involved in younger companies, right? So some of it may come professional fulfillment, advising, mentoring, helping train up a future generation of leaders. Right? Because when you're investing in these high growth companies, now these companies have the potential to hire thousands, if not tens of thousands of people eventually down the line. So that's something that angels, we look forward to. We want to pour into these types of things that align with our heart and also align with our professional growth as well, right? So they may want to join, they want to share the expertise, be part of the growth journey. Put into your mind that sometimes investors will, or sometimes angels will get into a certain deal because of the name of the company, right? Or the founders, or this is something they feel will look good for future, trying to pitch and win future investments. So that's something, there's a little game there. I wouldn't say don't deal too much with that, but just so you know, maybe angels or VCs more so would, they may want to get into a certain round or get into a company to have that as part of their portfolio. So I know this is about angels, but that's something on the VC world. So so they can kind of showcase, hey, we invested in this company. you don't know which round they invested in it, but we invested in this company, so that's part of their portfolio. Another reason that angels invest, which is similar to professional fulfillment, is network expansion. So these startups can introduce them to other angels, can introduce them to VCs, can introduce them to a whole industry or high-level people that they otherwise wouldn't have met, also introduce them to talent, right? So some of the reasons angels invest is network expansion. Can open doors to new professional relationships. You're able to gain access, sometimes they do, to gain access to other influential investors, right? It's easier to call up somebody, let's say an angel looks up to another angel, or angel looks up to somebody in a VC firm or another space. It's easier to call them up and say, hey, I've invested in this company as long as you. Let's get some coffee and see if there's other synergies we have, right? Or other deals we can possibly do together. So that allows them to have access to influential investors, other influential investors, other entrepreneurs, right? Because CEOs know other CEOs, right? Startup founders know other startup founders. So you may be able to refer them over to another company that they couldn't have gotten a warm introduction to otherwise. It's about expanding their business circle and also knowledge base. Right? Staying current with market trends. Sometimes we're investing because I learn a lot by doing. That's one of the reasons I got into angel investing, or I'm investing in certain sectors. I learn a lot by doing and putting my money down because that makes me very engaged, very involved, etc. So sometimes we're doing this to be on top of market trends. I'm talking to several companies. I'm talking to some of my countries. I just got off a call with one of the startups I've invested in. They're launching a new round. And they're talking about how they're integrating AI, or they plan to integrate AI into their customer service, because customer service is one of the key drivers of client acquisition and client retention for them. And so we were talking about that, and that's also keeping me up to date in terms of what's going on in the AI space. How are companies utilizing? How is this going to affect business models? So these things, angel investing can have you very up to date. Some angels are able to get the ability to really be up to date in terms of what's going on. Philanthropy and giving back. Like me, I really want to help improve Africa. Right? There's many markets across the U.S. I would like to help improve. I also have a heart for South America as well, Latin America. So these things, it's giving back. Yes, I want the companies to do really well. I want financial return because it's not sustainable if I don't get wins, right? These big wins, especially, think about it. We're holding on to these companies, these investments we're doing, possibly have a 7 to 12 year lockup. A lot of people think about angel investing, they're like, oh, it's this quick flip. No, usually it's a long lockup. So we do need our companies to be very successful. We do need our companies to do well, but we also, some of us really want to get back, and we invest to get back because your startups, you're creating jobs, right? You're moving the market forward. You're making the world better. And those are some things that many of us are very passionate about. And that's another way we feel like giving back, because it's super risky. And it's not just it's risky, it's also risky, and it locks up your capital. So you have to be very cash rich. Or if you're doing this not necessarily for short-term return. You're definitely not doing it for short-term return, but you're doing it because you believe in the company, you believe in the founder, you believe in the initiative, but also maybe you want the world to change a bit. So that's a reason as well. Also, if you stayed and watched this video to the end, I would love to know the name of your startup and what you're working on. Maybe I'll check it out or forward it to some of my angel friends. God bless.